This conference will now be recorded.
Forget about that. Good evening, everyone. As chair of the Montechusett Regional Planning Commission, I call the meeting to order of Wednesday, February 26th, 7 p.m. Could I have a roll call, please? It appears we do have a quorum.
Yes.
Okay, Amanda Reed,
Hi, Amanda Reed Lunenburg.
Barbara Yoakum,
Hi, here.
Doug Thornton, Al Nardowitz, we'll come back. Laura Schifrin,
Laura Schifrin here.
Peter Cunningham,
Yeah, Cunningham present.
Robert Schwartz,
Schwartz present.
and then Kyle Nard. Oh, I think Kyle might have just dropped off. So hopefully he'll be back in. It looks like he was having some speaking issues. So
We have a few more that just
Got a
joined
couple
you.
other late arrivals. Yeah.
yeah, sorry. Rebecca Bilecki.
Here.
Did I do Robert Schwartz? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm present.
Okay. And then as staff, I'll start. Jason Stanton, GIS Director, IT Director.
Holly Ford, Administrative and Human Resource Director.
Chris McNamara, Fiscal Director.
Glenn Eaton, admin.
We have Guy Corpusero also.
Oh, Guy Corpusero, present.
Present.
Okay, I think that is it for. Oh, Kyle Nardowitz, are you back, Kyle?
I'm back now.
Okay, there we go. So I think that's everyone.
Okay, thank you so much. This meeting will be recorded to ensure we have accurate record of our discussion. If anyone has any concerns about being recorded, please let us know. This meeting is held under Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, signed by the Governor Healy on March 29th, 2023, allowing local and regional governments to hold public meetings remotely or in hybrid fashion. All votes will be taken by roll call. And so now we go to number 2. Glenn, do you want to take this?
Thank you, Laura, Madam Chair. I appreciate that. I want to thank everybody for attending the meeting tonight and coming on short legal notice. I do appreciate that. Last Wednesday or Thursday, Tracy Murphy learned and put on my radar screen the availability of the holding of an annual conference put on by National Association of Development Organizations, or NATO or NADO. I've been to a few of their conferences years ago. They are very good. I wouldn't be so interested in sending someone to this, if there wasn't so much going on inside the Beltway. The conference agenda, there's a summary later on, but basically the gist of this is, I should say before I get into the paragraphs, and I'll just summarize each one quickly, that I would be happy to go to this. However, I have a family medical issue in March, and that prohibits me from going. However, we do have a very energetic Zach Kay, regional planner, who is able to attend the conference March 9 through 12th, and he promises to take copious notes. The second paragraph talks about the topics of interest to all the parties in question. Jason, would you be so kind to scroll down to the bulleted list of the highlights of the conference topics? Regional organization, population, enhancing board engagement. The bottom line is there are topics here that talk about funding for federal organizations, especially the Economic Development Administration and the Environmental Protection Agency, EDA and EPA, and kind of what's going on to get the latest scoop while you're inside DC. And we typically get better information inside the Beltway than we do kind of being a few hundred miles away. That's the gist of the request. Jason, could you scroll down a little bit more, please, beyond the bullets? There is a link in this, so if you You did receive this document via Holly via email, so you could click on if you wanted to learn more about the conference. The next paragraph that talks about cost, total estimated cost, $2,405, broken down thusly in that paragraph. The ticket, the entrance fee is $755. The other costs basically for lodging, $900, $350 for airfare, $400 for meals and incidentals following the GSA, and the personnel policies following the GSA rates that we have a new policy to do that, relatively new when we do that. We would charge the next paragraph, we would charge the conference related costs as a direct charge to our MRPC budget. We have a travel line item, and if we can charge this to applicable direct costs to applicable contracts like EDA and or EPA, we would do so also per employee policies. When an employee attends a conference, they have to come back and prepare a report for the commissioners, and that appears at the next meeting. So should you approve this and he attends from the 9th to the 12th of March, then at the April meeting, you'd have a written report from Zach. That summarizes my request to send Zach down to this conference to kind of get the inside scoop on what's going on and help us out to navigate the next year to 4 years. Thank you for your time, Madam Chair. Back to you.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
this is Rebecca Bielecki. I'd like to make a motion that be it resolved that the MRPC hereby approves the MRPC management's request to send Mr. K out of state to Washington, D.C. for the annual conference of the National Association of Development Organizations as described.
Is there a second? Okay,
I'll Cunningham, I'll second, but I do have a question.
I did have a second from Bob Schwartz.
Fine.
You can go ahead with your question.
Yeah, just under discussion. Glenn, to you, there is so much, as you alluded to earlier, going on, within the Beltway, these days that actually affect many of the grants and funding that we see or that filters down out of Washington. I think it's important to be there and to go, but I'm just wondering how much, what the sort of underlying dynamic of what's happening and whether a lot of these programs are going to be there or they're going to change drastically, or even whether or not the presenters at this conference are going to really have, good information about what the future holds.
Peter, I have two thoughts.
That's more of an observation than a comment. It's just,
okay.
seems obvious what's going
I
on
don't have
today.
to respond. I mean, if I have to respond, I will, but I can only say to the group that having been to these conferences in the past, the people who are become the speakers at this particular conference are in direct contract with all the congressmen and women all the time, and they have a very good idea of what's going on. So that's why it's important to be there. So it's a great comment, and I owed you that information for the group.
Yeah, I have no objection. I'm in favor of this motion. As an aside and an observation, I think we're in for a rocky road for the next few years in terms of programs and what's happening from a lot of these agencies that are being drastically impacted. Certainly EPA and many other agencies are being affected by this.
This is Barbara Yocum. Madam Chair, may I chime in?
Yes, you may, Barbara. Thank you.
Okay. Glenn, I'm a retired federal employee. As you know, I worked for the National Park Service my whole career, and I still have friends, colleagues who are still there, and they are having their travel canceled at the last minute. It is so dynamic right now. I do hope that this works out for you. It sounds like a really great program, but nothing is set in stone anymore. It's just so slippery, and it's pretty scary, actually, what's going on.
Absolutely.
Any other comments? Hearing none. Jason, would you take the vote, please?
Amanda Reed,
Aye.
Barbara Yocum,
Aye.
Doug Thornton,
Thornton, aye.
George Carroll, Guy,
Aye.
okay, Kyle Nardowitz,
Aye.
Laura Schifrin,
Aye.
Peter Cunningham,
Yeah, Cunningham, aye.
Rebecca Bielecki,
Bielecki, aye.
Robert Schwartz.
Schwartz, aye.
That's it.
Okay, thank you very much. Glenn, would you please take on the open meeting law update?
Thank you, Madam Chair. The most of the text here is an email that we received from a governmental affairs employee with Metropolitan Area Planning Council, MAPC. MAPC provides um, uh, governmental affairs services to the Massachusetts Association of Regional Planning Agencies, or MARPA. And MARPA had a meeting last Friday where we learned that from one of the MAPC government affairs people that the remote and hybrid meeting law provision under the open meeting law has been extended 4 times. In the words of the young lady that spoke, the likelihood of this being a permanent change in this current legislative session is virtually nil, but the legislature is considering another extension for X amount of time. We do not know. So I thought that was an important message to pass on, at this special meeting for information purposes. And then we will have our regular monthly meeting next Thursday, and I'm going to request approval to send a letter to our legislative delegation supporting the permanent remote and hybrid extension in the open meeting law. But that'll be for the debate for the commissioners for next Thursday. And Holly, thanks for catching me. I started writing up today this morning this detailed agenda, this report, asking for a request for approval. But this is just FYI only tonight. So thanks, Holly, for catching me on that, and we'll ask for approval to send that letter. And thinking good thoughts, I'll draft a letter in the meantime. Just be very simple to our state reps and state senators that would say, please make this permanent. If the commissioners agree next Thursday, I'll send it out next Friday. So that's the game plan. Jason, could you scroll down to the rest of that just to make sure I've covered everything? And I think I have. The rest of that's just the so you can see if you wanted to click any of the links to learn a little bit more, please feel free to do so. If you want to click on those, there are some sample templates if you wanted to bring those to your fellow local officials in your respective city and town halls. Please feel free to do so. That's all I have on that. Thank you very much for your time.
Okay, does anybody have any discussion they would like to add to that?
Yeah, Cunningham. Yeah, just I'm 100% in favor of this. I think it's improved attendance certainly at these meetings, and certainly I know meetings in town. It definitely has improved attendance. It's a lot easier for people to volunteer, and makes it a lot more accessible. So I'm fully in support of it, and I intend to actually look at some of those draft letters and bring it back to our board and encourage them to prepare a letter to send to our legislative delegation supporting this.
Anyone else?
Madam Chair, if I may,
Yes, Robert?
just another update. This past week, MASC, the Mass Association of School Committees, took a survey or asking for information from all school committees across the Commonwealth if they use the remote option in conducting meetings, their regular meetings and subcommittee meetings. And it was surprising to find that a good quantity of school committees are still using 100% meeting online. And some and also their subcommittee meetings, especially the regional committees who have to travel great distances to come together. So they're encouraging all school committees or individual members to write to the appropriate representative to be in favor of making it an extension or permanent. So I think it's going to be very important that it becomes permanent. I just wanted to share that with you in case you didn't know.
Thank you, Robert. We at Townsend, we have done some investigating in this as well because our attendance is 90% better than it was before. And in order to help people be more informed and be as transparent as we could be, the virtual meetings are definitely needed. And we have to remember that most of the people who attend these meetings are needed by their communities. They are volunteers. They are not paid. So I really would, I mean, I don't know what we're short. Well, we're not short of a quorum, obviously, and can vote, but I know that we are sending letters from Townsend. And I think that, and I think you have until the 31st anyway of March, is it? So, I mean, if you're more comfortable waiting until the regular commissioners meeting, fine, but I would hope that it goes out right away. Perhaps you could have a draft ready at that meeting.
Yeah, I was indicating earlier that I would draft it then the following week and think happy thoughts and get your blessing next Thursday to send it out next Friday. Yes.
I'm sure you're going to get our happy thoughts and blessing.
Yep.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn our meeting at 7:16 PM.
So move.
Second,
Okay, and if I do not hear any objections, I will work it without the roll call. Hearing no objections, thank you all very much for coming tonight and getting this done.
Yep. See everybody next week.